it was not until I went through my third birth and then did a pelvic therapy session, an internal pelvic therapy with a birth doula, with a massage therapist, where when she did an internal release, I literally felt areas in my neck when she was inside my yoni, in my neck release. I had
Mm-hmm.
tears. I shed away trauma from previous experiences that were not, that I was holding on to, that I had no idea. I was getting third eye activation visions of moments where I was like
Mm,
incredibly, I got up and I lost 20 pounds. I swear to God, I literally
yeah.
lost 20 pounds. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to hear, like when you're doing your pelvic therapy aspect and working with womb clearing, if like that physical, that palpating the muscle and touching and
Mm-hmm.
activating, because we have our three big grounding chakras there, right? We have root, we have
Yep.
sacral, we have solar plexus. So this is a
Yep.
big deal if you're holding on to something here, because it will
Mm-hmm.
block then your ability to connect with your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. And so,
Exactly.
when we're talking about it, have you like witnessed that where like a woman would be like, I'm coming in for like a pelvic floor therapy and then end up having like a complete release where they're like embarrassed or like wasn't expecting it?
Yes, this is why I have lots of tissues in my office. And I always tell
Yes.
people, I don't think you can. But more or less, so we, with the pelvic floor internal, techniques in particular,
Hmm.
whenever, especially down in our pelvic bowl and in our pelvic chalice, once we allow someone into that space that is holding the space for you while also gently stimulating in through those tissues. Now, I have had this happen both physically, as I'm actually physically stimulating those tissues, and I've also had this happen energetically as I'm doing hands off energetic work
Mm,
around that area.
yeah.
But yes, our body goes, oh my God, someone is actually here for me.
Oh.
And I think it has a lot to do with creating a sacred space and a sacred and safe environment for each person and their system to be able to take a breath
Mm,
and start to come out of that like acute protection and that
mm,
acute guarding that
mm,
a lot of times, comes on for a specific experience or series of experiences, but like as you kind of mentioned before, then becomes habit over
mm,
time,
mm,
long time after maybe those initial experiences actually happened.
mm,
And so I've had people go through literally, like, I allow people to move their body in whatever way, like it's a
mm,
collaborative space. I just say, whatever you feel, like, let it move through you. Your body will not show you anything or bring anything to your attention that is too much. It's actually exactly what you need in that moment. So don't resist it, lean
let it be.
into it and
Yes.
feel it fully. And I've had people literally get into birthing positions
Mm,
from birth trauma that they had
yes.
experienced.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've had people, go through just allowing their body to take them and their womb to take them to the depths of the healing that actually is what was needed, and having their body physically go through the positions where they experience trauma. So I've had people going through kind of the literally putting their legs in the positions of which they gave birth, and they experience trauma, as well as sexual assault. And these are not things that generally are held space for in the presence
Mm,
of other women. And that is actually part of the healing that is needed, is to actually be able to see the experience that the person went through, for them to be able to see it and experience it in a context of safety and in
mhm.
a context of support, where
Yes.
they can actually allow and help their body to move through what their body had continued to guard against.
Yes.
So it's
Yes, and
actually
it's not
quite beautiful
until, yeah,
to
they're when
behold.
they're cracked open that they can feel safe to experience it again and then have the need met, have the emotional support for them to go back into it. So that is incredible. It's incredible, I'm sure, for you to witness it and to
It is
be
a
holding
privilege.
space, energetically and emotionally and clearing it from these people, from these women who didn't even know it was stored, or subconsciously we knew, but like we just
Hmm.
didn't know how to get the support that we needed to get rid of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
definitely. Our conscious mind does a great job of, keeping us going in our day-to-day activities, and especially if we have little ones or people to take care of,
hmm.
our conscious mind is always going to try to help us to get through every single day. But what is underneath in the subconscious and in, even the areas or the shadows of repressed emotions or experiences, and even your being able to express what's on your heart and what's on your voice and your throat. Your womb is actually connected to your heart as well as your throat as well.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it really can just be life changing and transformational work.
Totally. Totally. It's so beautiful. Wow. It was so great to have you here and sharing your insights, Dr. Zazu. Your work is really beautiful. I have chills from my toes to my neck when I say that. And so I mean it. It's so beautiful to have practitioners out there like you. And I would love for you to share, how do people work with you? You do online, you do one-on-one, you do group, you have lots of different options. So please share.
I do. I do. Yeah, I have lots of different options because I see a lot of different people at all different points, in their journeys. And so I believe that even, just a 15-minute free conversation can really plant the seed or continue somebody on in their path for healing. So I have all of my services on my website at www.phoenix, so Phoenix, .info.